So our panel follows on from the previous conversation. We've just heard about gamification and how it intersects with fintech. And what we're going to be talking about is actually, we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper and talk about what the fintech behind gamification and gaming actually looks like, where the innovation is coming from, and some of the problems that come with trying to use fintech in this industry. First, I'd like everybody to give me a really short introduction to themselves, please. I don't need to know where you went to primary school, but your name, your title, and kind of what that means on a day-to-day basis would be great.
Sure. Nice to meet you. My name is Gilad. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Soft2Bet. Soft2Bet is an iGaming platform for B2B. 15 years ago, no, I'm just joking. So I'm responsible for the operational division within Soft2Bet, and that includes customer support, risk, fraud, AML, payments, and other teams as well.
Just a few things then.
Hi, I'm Cohen. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BridgerPay. BridgerPay is a payment orchestration platform, an agnostic platform that allows merchants to connect and optimize different payments and payment methods through any country around the world. We work with many different verticals. iGaming is one of them, so we're happy to share.
Hey everyone, pleasure to be here. My name is Vadim, and I'm 8 years in the fintech. My experience coming from more merchant side, so I started my journey like a head of payments in SOFTSWISS, then I was promoted to Chief Payment Officer in SOFTSWISS, and nowadays I represent FinteqHub. It's a payment gateway as well. So it's an internal project that we built initially for our needs, and from this year we are selling this and offering this product for external merchants. Actually, this is also the payment orchestration tool, which allow you to have a variety of the methods, manipulate, route, reroute, and etc., etc.
Brilliant. So what I'd like to know a little bit more about before we get into some of the nitty-gritty is fintech is a very broad term. Gamification, that's a new one, I've made that up. iGaming is a very broad term. So can you, without giving us a full-on sales pitch, can I ask each of you to give me kind of some layperson's terms of the fintech products and services you offer? So what are we actually talking about here? Are you moving money? Are you holding money? You know, kind of what that actually looks like. Ran, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I think you are speaking here from the morning that I'm hearing so many different conversation about payment methods, payment providers. In the end, an operator, a business, requires to integrate all of those one after one, integrate it into his system, into his gaming system, into his accounting systems, and it's a big liability for him. With the rise of so many different payment methods, the need for one agnostic layer of technology, basically, that a merchant can come in, integrate only once, and into it connect any one of the payment provider they want. Bridger is connected, for example, to over 1,000 different providers around the world, and we give this power back to the businesses to decide where they want to process and with who, and to simply connect it immediately into one agnostic layer. So technology comes here and plays a very big role because we are unifying the rails to any one of those payment providers with one single integration and making lives of businesses much easier.
I think that's something as well that was touched on in the embedded finance panel earlier as well, but the people who maybe are developing the games, they're not finance people necessarily. They want it to be easy for their customers to do what they need to do, but they aren't the financial brains behind it. They want to be left to do their thing and just plug into one platform. Vadim, how about you? What are the products and services that you're offering? What specifically do they look like?
So, speaking about iGaming specifically, we always joke, and it's actually not a joke, that payments it's a blood for iGaming, because everything starting from payments, as Yuri said in his previous discussion. So it's very important to provide the stable methods. It's very important to provide the popular methods in the region where you're operating. It's very important to provide instant methods because specifically I think in iGaming it's very important because imagine you're a player, you're coming to the website. It could be sport betting or casino, doesn't matter. So you see this website first time in your life, so you should feel safety, and how you will feel safety when you press the button. For example, made Apple Pay payments, you expect that your balance will be immediately topped up, but a couple of secrets, it's not always like this. Even for the player, it seems like it is, but on the background, money could arrive in 2-3 days, and it's also risks and etc. So I would say that payments is kind of the complexity, and this is, as I said, once again, just the blood for everything, because everything starting from payment and actually finishing with a payment when you hopefully won.
I mean, yeah, that's something we'll probably get into in a bit, but it's one of an unusual industry where you're actually taking money both ways on a regular basis. Like if you're, a usual merchant, you just take the money. You really hope you don't have to give it back because that means something's gone wrong.
Sure.
And Gilad, we heard a little bit before about SoftSWISS, but perhaps you could give us a little bit more detail about what you guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we will start for our audience a little bit with explaining what is iGaming, right?
Yes, please. Yeah.
That's okay. So iGaming is merely a variation of the traditional gaming that we're all familiar, where the player goes and he plays a bet with the comfort of with the casino. It can be slots, it can be roulette, it can even be sometimes sports bet. In iGaming is the player can place the same bet with the comfort of his home or wherever he chooses to be in the world, right? So we see in the past few years a transition between from traditional casino, to an online. We see it very much peaked since COVID, and we see that both the players and the casino themselves, they're actually adopting very quickly. Now we at SoftSWISS, a B2B platform, we provide a turnkey solution for the partners that includes several different products. First one is the PAM, which is the player account management. This is the heart of the system. This is the basis, and we recently released a new system of PAM. Later on, whoever here knows SoftSWISS websites, we have outstanding website. Again, I'm not objective, of course, but we have a top-of-the-line website, and it's based, again, on new technology, and the UI and the UX, the front end is very important for us. We also offer an enhanced offering when it comes to the slots, over 14,000 slots, over 120 tier 1 providers. We offer over 1.4 million events for sports and esports. And on top of that, we support, not like the gentleman over here, but we do support 300 different payment methods. Now, everything that I talked about, it's a very high number of solutions, of course, but it's important to mention that we customize it and we personalize it, meaning that every player, if it's from different countries, but even within the same country, will have different offering, so they will have a customized solution. Now, also, one of our biggest products is the managed services. Okay, this is the service that we offer to our partners. It includes customer support over 30 different languages, 24/7. We offer risk and fraud services, both automated solution, but also manual teams that we have. We offer responsible gaming and AML, of course, which is, very much needed in different regulations that we operate. And of course, we offer as well CRM, and in some cases, VIP solution according to the legislation. Now, we also have additional products on top of that, right? We have our own affiliate management system. And for us, right, this is interesting, we also have our own game studio. So it's called Ella Games, and we actually provide and create the games with in-house. Okay, we produce a game and release it once every month. So the games are very catchy. We see that they're becoming very popular. And the RTP, okay, I know you guys are from fintech, so not everyone knows, RTPs, return to player, can reach to up to 98%. Last but not least, all right, we are also working on our own payment gateway.
So again, only a small suite of products. I mean, but the common thing, and to Vadim's point, you know, payments is the blood behind this industry. It's what makes it work. I mean, I'm going to come to you first on this, Ran, but payments is also a very crowded space. Anybody who works in fintech knows there are probably millions of fintech companies who say they do payments. And I know that you guys are kind of cross-industry as well. You don't just do iGaming. So how do you stand out in this industry? How do you make sure that people come to you as their preferred payments provider? Advice for any other payments companies in the room.
So again, Bridger is not a payment provider, and we are not an acquirer or any thing of the sort. We are the agnostic layer of payments. So you as a business, for example, you want to work with Payable, but you also want to work with, I don't know, Checkout.com and Worldline or WorldPay. You would be able to connect all those merchant accounts you have into one system. So this technology here solves the integrations of all those different payment providers, but as a business, it allows you to diversify your funds, different approval ratios in different countries. So there is no 100%. And even though my friend will open a payment gateway, there is no 100%. And each payment provider, specifically in iGaming, take on himself some fraud and risk rules that are built in within his payment gateway. So it could be that Gilad won't accept a transaction that my friend here would. So that's the life of payment. And we as Bridger, we say, look, there is no 100%, there is no guarantee. We give you the opportunity to connect everyone that you need and try to retry the transaction in a way that you maximize your approval ratio. Because in the end of the day, when a user wants to pay, and you as an operator, you really don't care where you process the money as long as it's been processed and it's in your account.
So you're preventing any latency. The payment will go through. It just doesn't matter who it goes through, the person who's paying and the person who receives the money.
Exactly, and you see that there are different obstacles today. You spoke about the experience.
I should say these two have promised to fight. So
Gilad spoke about the experience, and we see that in the last 2 or 3 years, businesses, merchants do not want anymore to embed any component in their payment pages, checkouts, whatever. They want a PCI-free blocks that will allow them to tokenize cards, full experience of their own. So there is no iframe anymore or any checkouts that you embed. Today, in today's world, it's a completely seamless payment experience where we give PCI-approved blocks for businesses to embed and harvest credit cards.
Vadim, I can see you wanted to jump in there.
Yeah, I just like really a question. So, we like a FinteqHub, we, a startup. So, and of course, when you are starting the business, you are thinking about partners, competitors, and you're thinking, what's your value proposition? You said a very correct phrase that's a lot of fintechs right now in the place. So when we thought about it, and when my customer is coming to me, I'm saying, in the worst case scenario, I could be just another good gateway for you. But if the markets are matching with these ones where we have experience, I also will be your friend and your consultancy for these regions. Because actually, what is a payment gateway? It's not only integrations. It is a big part of this, I absolutely agree, but it's also the experience and expectations and the final result that you will get in the end. Because you could, have nice integrations, but for example, let's take Germany, right? So open banking solutions, they are booming right now in Europe and Germany specifically, and you could work with the different flows. So you could accept money when the payment was initialized, but not really arrived to your bank account like a merchant. So going in a risk, but giving this instant to the player, instant topping up of the balance. Or you could say, okay, I don't want to take risks now. Or you could say, okay, I would like to take the risks from some certain amount of money. So how you will know all of this stuff when you never tried this market? So you never worked with open banking solutions before, for example. So experience, advices, this is something that's really, from my point of view, a unique proposition. And we are trying to help our partners with many things outside, let's say, not only in the tech, in the integrations, in a fast penetration to the market, but sharing with them expectations. So, okay, you know, in this country, you will have this amount of chargebacks because, you know, central banks, for example, don't have 3DS, for example, still, and many other stuffs that's you need to know because in the end you will suffer if it will be a bad surprise for you.
Would you say that that's one of the biggest challenges that your gaming customers have, is the multiple different payment? We talk about what customers expect. If you're going to scale internationally or you're going to serve customers internationally, would you say one of the biggest challenges is being able to work out, okay, people in Cyprus like cards, people over here like crypto, people over here like open banking? Is that a really big issue?
I would say yes. Probably from the quick overview, it's like a bit confusing. Like, what's the problem to know what method is popular in some particular country? Okay, you're opening Google, you're like, okay, you know, I don't know. Again, let's take an example of Germany. So, okay, there are open banking, Klarna, for example, so forth, or and cards, right? And you have the public statistic, how much % of this pipe, this or this method is taken. But when you go in there, the question next one is, okay, who will be supplier of this particular method, right? Which acquirer it might be? It might be, I don't know, Wordline, it might be Payable, it's a lot of them, right? So whom to choose? This is the good question that's coming, because a part of the just providing the method, you are expecting the goods, the good service, 24/7 support. You're expecting settlements. Settlements when you are getting money from the payment provider to your bank accounts. So how frequently they will settle to you, in which currency, which FX conversion rate they're gonna use, because you know you don't want to have these cash gaps in your cash flow, which you know making a drama then for you like a business. So it is a challenge, not only, as I said, to select the supplier, but then to understand what you will expect and what level of the service you're going to get from this supplier for sure. Another stuff is, of course, regulation. There are some limits in some markets, and it's good to know before you actually even penetrate into some the markets. But coming back to the integrations, it's also the speed, right? Each business and online business, they are not limited physically, right? Today you could target Cyprus, tomorrow Poland or whatever, so you want to do it fast, right? And this is when gateways actually are helping, right? So that's one of the main points as well.
I will pick up 2 points that you said. First of all, from what we see, businesses are very much educated and know what they want. They don't come to us so much in this oblivion, but they come knowing that if they want to process in Brazil, they need to connect PIX. If they want to process in Thai, they need to have a QR code. If they know. It comes from their users as well. So the user speaks with the operator speaks with us, and then we open all these different solutions so they can choose where they want to take them from. They can take an APM from Payable, but they can also take it directly. So in our methodology, we want to give the power back to the business that, like you said, is choosing. I don't think they have to choose all the time. The idea of having one agnostic layer is the ability to connect many, and not just to choose who is the best one, because there is no best one. And that's something
Absolutely
we saw.
agree. Absolutely agree.
If we talked about how fintech helps payments, and you just spoke about 3D, this is a big thing. 3D today, 3DS2, which is a very hard challenge in some cases, some browsers. It's not going so well, and each one of the payment providers around the world is connected to his own 3D solution. And this is where we saw that there is a lot of room to improve, and we've created our own 3D agnostic solution. So we don't have to go 3D, 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 and we are doing just one, unified. And this is a good way of using technology and eliminating time and increasing completion rate of transactions.
I wanted to relate to this question, even though it was a target to my colleagues, right? So I think that what you mentioned is correct. Today, operators come with much more experience, much more knowledge. They know what they want. You know, a big group like us, for example, we do our due diligence, we do our checks. But I think that you will agree with me that it differs between bigger operators and smaller operators, right? That they need more guidance. They need a little bit more help by advising what exactly they should approach.
I mean, on that point, that kind of leads us nicely into my next question is, I think you've all sort of touched on it, but who's actually driving the innovation here? So on the one hand, you could say the consumers are, because they're saying, I want to pay with a QR code. And somebody goes, right, okay, how the hell do we do that? But on the other hand, you've got the fintechs themselves coming out with products, and it would be unfair not to touch on regulation, because the regulators are very interested in this space. So Gilad, I'll come to you first on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that, unfortunately, I hope no one is listening, right? But regulators are not the innovation ones. But we see innovation from the two industry combining, right? So fintechs plays a crucial role within the iGaming industry, and we see all kinds of innovative tools that they have. Whether it's, you know, the pay in and pay out that we discussed that, you know, influence significantly over their player experience, right? Every different change makes, you know, a huge effect on the player experience, but that's not only that, right? So there is also products for KYC behind the scene, that the player is verified behind the scene, creates a seamless flow and a great experience for him. There are products in the fintech for AML and responsible gaming, right? Source of wealth, source of funds, again, behind the scene. All the player need to do is to consent, right? We see anti-fraud tools. So fintech is extremely innovative, and that's very crucial, but I think that also iGaming, you know, has gained rightfully the reputation for being very innovative. So we just heard the speech of Uri about motivational engineering, so I will not get into it too much. But, you know, in two sentences, right, Soft2Bet, we created the motivational engineering. Now, what's so amazing about it and so much innovative is the fact that we actually created additional layer of entertainment for the player, right? So you have the traditional casino, the traditional sport, and all of a sudden, boom, you have another layer of entertainment, right? So that, we saw the numbers, right? It creates a huge engagement by the players, and we see like a great results in terms of deposits, engagement, screen time. So to conclude, I think that both industries are extremely innovative, and it helps to each other to grow together.
Did you want to pick up on that, Vadim? Yeah.
Yeah, I just would like to agree and add a couple of words. I think purely it's competition who leads to innovation, right? Because you would like to be first. You would like to take more customers. You would like them to be more happy, and et cetera, et cetera. So you need to be faster, better, cheaper, all these words.
Stronger.
Yeah, exactly. So competition.
But, and a question, I guess, Ran, perhaps you can answer this. You work with more than iGaming, right? You work with various industries. Do you think iGaming is particularly innovative, or do you think there are other industries that are more innovative in terms of what you're seeing from your customers?
By far, it's a different world. If you look, we compare iGaming to insurance, or if you compare iGaming to travel. Or Uri just showed a great example of how travel is coming into the world of a user that they have inside, and that's something that they will add. And it's amazing, because think about it. If you create a world for a user, they have a wallet, they have balance, they have their games, they have also now their travel there. This is much more advanced than other industries. You could also see it by the amount of payment provider a single operator is connecting. So you could compare one retail client that sells, I don't know, rings or diamonds in the US and compare an operator that is selling games. It's a different world. One would work with 1 or 2 payment providers, and the other could work with 10 or 15, and you could see the differences. But again, in iGaming, there is the inherited risk inside. Acquirers around the world still looking at iGaming as a risky business, and as such, you always need to find other solutions. You always need to find the one that fits you, your settlements criteria, your commissions, your approval ratios, etc.
Did you want, I didn't know if you'd raised your mic, Vadim, or if you don't have to comment, it's fine. That's actually a nice point to sort of move us on to the final area I really wanted to talk about today, which is, we've talked today about fintech and about, it's been mentioned several times, this idea of outcome-based regulation, and there's a heavy focus from quite a few regulators on consumer protection. How are you looking after individuals? They don't seem to care as much about businesses. It seems to be individuals. And I think it would be fair to say that iGaming also has a lens on it because what can happen when people gamble too much. Or the fraud risks that could be associated with it, whatever. I just wanted to get each of your opinion on kind of the protection of vulnerable customers, and you each sit at a different part in the chain, right? So, I mean, I'll start with Gilad. You know, you have the most obvious kind of answer to this, but then the other two of you, kind of how you think about servicing a risky industry when there is a risk to consumers at the end of it, and how you handle that. But I know Gilad will have an easy answer for this, so I'll go to him first.
Thank you. So I think that we heard the previous discussion, right? Ugna mentioned about the transparency, right? So for us at Soft2Bet, it's a value transparency with the players, but also with our workers, right? So we don't have hidden commissions or anything like that, and that's obviously something that is crucial for us in terms of player protection. And then if we move forward to the next pillar, so only 2023 we managed to secure 4 licenses. While securing the licenses, right, we have a very big investigation and due diligence about the license and the history of the license, and we understand exactly what are the requirements from the regulator. According to those requirements, we implement them first in an automated tool. We call it a risk matrix. And this one, combined with our experience, because we hold so many licenses, right, we create something that is much stronger. Now, on top of that, we have also a team of professional individuals, and they have experience with several different licenses, as I mentioned. So all of that together, all of those pillars together create something that is close to a bulletproof. That's how we'd like to see it.
Yeah, I think bulletproof would be, the regulators would love things that are bulletproof. That would make them very happy. Ran, how about you? When you're choosing to serve the gaming industry, what is your approach to sort of handling the potential dangers to customers?
So again, as a unified layer, we connect from one side the payment providers and the other side the operators. When operator come to us without any license, without any way of getting a payment provider, there's nothing that we can do without saying goodbye.
The answer is no.
Because at the end, it won't last. Any payment provider that will take him will die in a few weeks, and we saw that, we know that. So I think that as a user, as a player, obviously, it's very important to know that the place you play is protected under PCI, is keeping your data safe. And we just saw a few days ago, I don't know if you heard about Tipalti and the huge amount of users that allegedly stole from Roblox.
That's fascinating, because that's children with their parents' credit cards,
exactly,
right?
Exactly, and there's nothing more risky than that, if you ask me, because we don't cap them, those small guys. And yeah, this is a big concern from us, and this is what we look at when we do the integrations, both with the payment providers and the gaming companies. We make sure that all the tokenization of credit cards would work as it should, and from our side, that's what we do.
Yeah, it's a focus on the kind of the ensuring security, asking the right questions at the right place, and making sure that you've done your due diligence. So if the regulator comes to you, you can be like, we did everything we're supposed to do.
Yeah, about customer protection, it's actually a very good question, and You said that you, like a merchant, for example, don't want to overcharge the player and you don't have any hidden commissions, but we know that sometimes it's a payment processor who decided to earn a bit more than expected. So.
Yeah, absolutely, but those costs are, we pay them, right? So this is cost that we bury, right, from the understanding that it's better for us to pay those costs and to be transparent with the player. So, yeah, as you know, right, some companies charge like a processing fee, deposit, withdrawals. We don't do that. Moreover, we display, right, very transparently way, what is the processing fee in the cashier.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. That transparency, one of the topic, another to to find these hidden fees. So it's actually work of your financial managers how they are doing reconciliations. And okay, they found there is some discrepancies. Why? We didn't expect it. So something is happening not on our side. But what I would say that support, actually the client support is a very important stuff here, because let's be honest, problems are happening in payments daily. We're handling this. So it is the question how you servicing your client when the problem came, and in most of the cases it's a negative experience. So there is there should be a speed of the sorting the question. There should be the system that allow you to identify where is the problem, again to sort it out quickly and give the proper answer to the customer. So support, I would say, is the crucial one here. So that okay, if you played on this particular sport betting website or casino through this payment provider, you are safe, because either the merchant, the operator will gonna sort your problem, either you could write to the payment provider, and payment provider on behalf of you will do this. So I think this is what makes customer experience more safer.
That's a great point to end on. The two key things which I think perfectly talk about intersect iGaming and fintech. So transparency with your customers, and also customer service, because things will go wrong. Something will go wrong. You just have to accept that, and then you just have to be ready for it when it happens and make sure that you can give your customer the best possible outcome. Well, thank you very much for my panel. Thank you very much for joining us. I know it's lunchtime, so we will head off now. But thank you very much, guys.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.